Before we dive in, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy betrayal stories like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share it with someone who'd love it too. You know what's funny about betrayal? It's not the knife in your back that hurts most. It's realizing everyone else saw it coming except you. What started as a perfect evening turned into the moment everything shattered. Picture this: crystal chandeliers, 200 guests in their best clothes, champagne flowing like water at my nephew's wedding reception. I'm standing there watching my wife of 15 years work the room like she owns it, that green dress hugging every curve, making every man in the room straighten up when she walks by. She's laughing, touching arms, leaning in close to whisper stuff. And there's one person getting most of her attention, her business partner from the PR firm, where she'd climbed to the top faster than anyone expected. This guy, let's call him her colleague, wore suits that cost more than most people's monthly rent and had that slicked back hair that screamed money and arrogance. My best friend slides up next to me with 2 beers and says what we're both thinking. I'm watching my wife act like she's single at a family wedding. The music shifts to something slow and I make my move, walking across that dance floor to ask my own wife for one dance. Just 3 minutes, that's all I wanted. But she looks at me like I just asked her to jump off a bridge. She's in the middle of something important, talking business at our nephew's wedding reception. Her colleague grins at me with those perfect white teeth and suggests I understand how critical this conversation is. I don't move, I just repeat myself, dance with your husband. She takes my hand, but her body is stiff, like she's being forced to hug a stranger. I tell her she looks beautiful and she says people are watching, that she doesn't want to look taken. Those words hit different. You don't want to look taken. I'm processing those words while couples around us are swaying to the music, lost in their own little worlds. So there I am, middle of the dance floor, and I do something I never thought I'd do. I reach down, twist off my wedding ring, that simple gold band I'd worn for 15 years, and place it gently on the nearest table right next to the white roses. Problem solved. Now you don't look taken. The whispers spread like wildfire through that ballroom. My wife just stands there frozen, eyes wide, but I'm already walking away. My friend catches me at the bar and says I finally grew a backbone. 15 years of marriage and my wife just told me she doesn't want to look taken in front of our families, her friends, everyone we know. That's when I realize I gotta find out what she's really been hiding. Across the room she's huddled with her colleague and her 2 closest friends. These women who treat gossip like it's their full-time job. One's a real estate agent with way too much work done on her face. The other's a yoga instructor who believes crystals can fix everything. They're all looking at me, whispering, and I can read the body language from across the room. She's in damage control mode, and he's playing the supportive partner perfectly. My daughter shows up next to me, 16 years old with her mother's looks, but thankfully my ability to see through lies. She asks if I'm okay, and I tell her I'm having a moment of clarity. She notices my ring sitting there abandoned on that table and mentions her mother is really upset, that her colleague is comforting her. I can see them across the room, his hand on her back, her leaning into him like he's her lifeline instead of the man destroying our family. But things got way darker when I decided to find out the truth. I slip away from the reception, following them when they think nobody's watching. They disappear into one of those smaller conference rooms off the main ballroom. And through the glass doors I can see them talking real intense. He's got his hands on her shoulders. She's crying or pretending to cry. It's hard to tell with her. I move closer, staying in the shadows, press myself against the wall next to that door that's open just a crack. That's when I hear everything that's going to change my life forever. She's saying they can't keep doing this, that I'm getting suspicious. He tells her I won't be a problem after tonight, that everything's going according to plan. The ring thing actually works in their favor cause now everyone thinks I'm unstable and jealous. When they make their move, nobody's going to be surprised. She asks what happens if I fight the divorce and he laughs. Asks what lawyer I'm going to hire, what money I'm going to use. They've been planning this for months, he says. Her stuff is protected, the business is secure, and after tonight's show she'll have witnesses to my crazy behavior. She mentions feeling guilty sometimes cause I'm our daughter's father, but he brushes it off, says kids bounce back, and our daughter will be better off without me. Then he mentions the prenup loophole, something about a cheating clause that works both ways. All they need is proof of my bad behavior, and she keeps everything. The house, the business, full custody. I'll be lucky to get supervised visits, he tells her. I'm standing there listening to my wife and her lover plot my complete destruction like it's just another business deal. 15 years of marriage reduced to a plan to erase me from my own life. I back away from that door, my heart pounding so loud I'm surprised they can't hear it through the walls. Everything I thought I knew, everything I believed about my marriage, it's all been a lie. But here's the thing. They think I'm stupid. They think I'm gonna roll over and let them destroy me. They got no idea what's coming. The next morning hits like a nightmare I can't wake up from. I'm sitting at our kitchen counter staring at coffee, while she's moving around in her silk robe getting ready for another day of networking. She wants to talk about my little scene that embarrassed her in front of everyone. How her mother called 3 times already. I just listen while she tells me this jealousy thing has got to stop, that her colleague is just her business partner, and they got to keep things professional. She moves closer, touches my hand, tells me she loves me and that I'm being paranoid. Then she kisses my forehead like I'm a confused kid and heads upstairs to shower. The sound of water running upstairs is my green light. Her phone is sitting right there on the counter plugged into the charger. She's always been careless with it, thinks I trust her completely. Past tense, trusted. I know her code. It's our daughter's birthday. The phone unlocks first try, and what I find makes my stomach turn. Text messages going back months, planning and scheming in details that'd make anyone sick. Can't wait for tonight. Miss your hands on me. He's working late again. Come over after 9. Your husband's such a loser. How'd you stand him this long? Not much longer. The lawyer says we need more proof of crazy behavior. Last night at the hotel was incredible. You're amazing. I keep scrolling, each message worse than the last. They're talking about me like I'm nothing, like 15 years of marriage means absolutely zero. They're laughing about how clueless I am, how easy it's been to fool me. But the texts are nothing compared to her secret social media account. Not the public one with family photos and inspirational quotes, but a private one under a different name. Photos of her in stuff I've never seen. Hotel rooms I've never been to, weekend trips with him. The comments from her friends are even worse, saying she's living her best life, that I got no idea, that she deserves this. Soon, baby, soon we won't have to hide anymore. One photo shows them at some beach resort, her in a bikini, him with his arms wrapped around her, both of them grinning like they just won the lottery. The date stamp shows it was during that conference she said she had to attend alone. Another photo shows them at a fancy restaurant, champagne glasses raised, celebrating something. The caption reads, "Finally found my soulmate," that I screenshot everything, send it all to myself, delete the proof I was snooping, and put her phone back exactly where I found it. My hands are shaking, but my mind is crystal clear. The shower shuts off upstairs and I hear her singing. Actually singing like she doesn't have a care in the world. When she comes downstairs later dressed in a power suit that probably costs more than most people's rent, she tells me she'll be late tonight. Client dinner with her colleague. It's that important account again. I just nod and say sure, that important account. She grabs her keys, blows me a kiss, and walks out that door like everything's normal. Like she didn't just spend the morning getting ready to meet her lover while her stupid husband sits at home. I watch her car pull out of the driveway, and something inside me shifts. The hurt is still there, burning like acid in my chest, but now there's something else. Anger, cold and calculated. After she leaves, I sit in the silence of our massive house, 5,000 square feet, that suddenly feels like a tomb. Everything I worked for, everything I built is a lie, but I'm not going down without a fight. I call my friend and tell him my marriage just died, ask if he can meet me. We end up at this dive bar that serves the best burgers in town and doesn't judge you for drinking whiskey at noon. I show him everything, the screenshots, the photos, the messages. His face gets darker with each swipe, and when he sees the photos, he actually whistles. Man, this is bad, real bad. Months, maybe longer, they've been planning to destroy me. Take everything, my daughter, my stuff, paint me as the unstable one. That he asks what I'm going to do, and I tell him I need evidence. Real evidence that'll hold up in court. Something they can't deny, something that'll expose them for exactly what they are. Something that'll show everyone who the real villain is in this story. That's when my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. If you want to see what your wife is really up to, check the penthouse at the luxury hotel downtown tonight at midnight. Come alone. I show the message to my friend, and he says it's either a trap or a gift. There's only one way to find out which. So that night, we're sitting in his work van across the street from the city's newest luxury hotel. The kind of place where bottled water costs 20 bucks and the doorman wear better suits than most executives. At 11:45, we watch a familiar expensive sports car pull up. Her colleague gets out first, walks around to open the door for my wife. She's wearing the black dress I bought her for our anniversary, the one she said was too fancy to wear to dinner with me. They walk into that hotel like they own the place, like they're not destroying families and lives. My friend asks how we're supposed to get to the penthouse without security stopping us, and I tell him we're about to find out. This is where everything changes, where I stop being the victim and start being the man who fights back.